I used to do a lot of push-ups for my chest. Now this is back before I started lifting weights, so I was still playing football at the time. And the only exercise that I would do really would be running for the football and push-ups nearly every day, and then the occasional pull-ups. Now, I wasn't really developing my chest in the way that I wanted. I saw some initial noob gains, right? Like up until the point I could do 30 or 40 or 50 push-ups, and then the growth stopped after that. But the shape wasn't really coming out how I expected it to, and I didn't understand what the issue was at the time. Nowadays, I've sort of got it figured out. I've built an attractive physique, I know how to do it, and the upper chest, I've realized, is a massive part of that if your goal is to do the same. The issue with all the push-ups that I was doing before was that push-ups train the lower chest primarily. Now, of course, doing something is better than nothing. It's better to do push-ups than not to do anything at all. But if you want to build an attractive physique as optimally as possible, then you're going to have to start prioritizing your upper chest. A lot of guys that are in the gym are doing loads of bench press, loads of dips, maybe even decline bench press. Oh no, that's not what you want to do if you want to build an attractive physique. So in this video, I'm going to show you how your upper chest creates a massive visual impact for your physique and how you can actually build it. You don't need to go ahead and build a massive gorilla chest. You just need to shape it correctly, and then your physique is going to start to look way better. When you're looking at your physique straight on, your upper chest is going to create a disproportionate amount of visual appeal compared to your mid and lower chest. You should already know that having a good shape to your physique is way more important than having overall size to your physique. You can technically pack on more size, I guess, more mass in your mid and lower chest, you know, spamming loads of bench presses, whatever, but that's not going to have the effects that you want it to have. Prioritizing your upper chest is going to give you that plate of armor look, that shelf, you know what I'm talking about, where the chest comes out like this, and then obviously you have the washboard abs underneath it, right? So your clavicular head, the strip of muscle beneath your collarbone, i.e. the upper chest, that's what's going to give you that look. If you develop your mid and lower chest too much, because the mid and lower chest is a muscle that's larger, a lot larger than the upper chest, it's a lot easier to overdevelop that compared to the upper chest. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with an upper chest that's too developed, but I've seen a lot of people with a lower and mid chest. They've done too much bench press, too much dips, or whatever it is, and they've overdeveloped their lower chest, which doesn't look as good now. You will never have that filled out look to your chest if you don't focus on developing the upper chest compared to the mid and lower. When your mid and lower chest is disproportionately large compared to the upper, which again is easier to do because just in terms of muscle insertion, you've got more mass in that area compared to the upper chest, right? So when you have that, when you have a too big of a mid and lower chest compared to the upper, you get more of a saggy chest type of look, which is obviously not as attractive. We want that filled out chest type of look. That's the type of look that's going to make simple t-shirts look better on you because your upper chest is basically bulging out of your collarbone, right? If you're wearing a tank top, a vest, like when I'm in the gym and I see someone wearing a tank top and their chest is looking kind of flat, I know that it's because they haven't prioritized the upper chest, because the upper chest is the only part that's visible when you're wearing something like that. Like I mentioned at the start, there's a difference between having a big chest and having an attractive chest. If someone else has developed their mid and lower chest too much in proportion to their upper, you who has a proportional upper chest, at least proportional to the mid and lower, even if your chest is smaller overall, it has less mass overall, it will always look better than the guy who's got more muscle mass overall but has developed their mid and lower chest with worse proportions. It's a shame because even me, I see a lot of guys in the gym that clearly want to develop their chest a lot. Dips, bench presses, flies every day. But often in life, it's about working smart as well as working hard. So if you want a chest that actually looks good, you need to focus on developing the proportions more so than the overall size. Like even when someone looks at your physique that doesn't know about proportions or whatever, for example, if a girl looks at your physique, these girls, they have no fucking clue, okay, this is the clavicular head, the costal pec, the sternal pec. They don't know, they don't care either. It's just, does it look good? Or does it not look good? Or is there something missing? Even if they don't know what that is. And often when you develop your mid and lower chest disproportionately compared to your upper chest, then it often looks like there's something missing, and there is. Now, before I tell you how to train your upper chest effectively, first you need to do your own evaluation on your physique. You need to assess whether your upper chest needs to be prioritized, whether you should even put it first in your workout over any other muscles. So if you go to a mirror and you look at your side profile, you stand side onto the mirror, how much of a difference is there between your upper and mid chest? Is it really flat? Like, is your upper chest really flat and then your mid chest comes in? Or is it about the same? It should be around the same if you're developing it proportionally. If you just feel your upper chest, as in like just below your collarbone, right? If you feel it now, can you feel some depth there? Can you actually feel the muscle fibers? You should be able to, ideally. If you tense your chest, again, can you feel it just under your collarbone? If you lift your arm like this, your upper chest, if it's developed well, should actually come over your collarbone a little bit. That's how you know that you've developed a good bit of mass there. If you're not seeing any of those things, or all of them really, then your upper chest is probably not as developed as it should be. Don't lie to yourself, right? Because that's just going to harm you in the long run. You're going to have lagging body parts, your upper chest. So just assess correctly, assess honestly, and if you need to prioritize your upper chest, that's completely fine. Just go ahead and do it. If you've been doing loads of flat movements, maybe decline movements, and not as many upper movements, or mostly upper movements really, then you're probably going to need to prioritize that upper chest. Now, the movements that you should go ahead and do to build your upper chest effectively, the number one for me, and believe it or not, this is the only movement I've done for my chest in general in the last 2 years, the inclined Smith machine bench press. Like I said, the only movement I've done for my chest in the last 2 years. No flat pressing, definitely no decline pressing, just incline pressing. That's why I'm telling you from experience that if you go ahead and prioritize your upper chest, all of your chest is going to look good. Your chest overall is going to look way better than someone who doesn't focus on the upper chest. Your mid and lower chest is still going to activate to some degree, right? Because it's still a chest movement when you're doing the incline Smith machine bench press on a small incline, right? But it's going to be way better for your overall chest look to prioritize that upper chest rather than focus on flat movements. Now, the incline you should have the bench on is going to be about 30 degrees. That's what I usually have. I've played with other angles, 15 degrees, 45 degrees. They're all okay, they're all fine. It's just whatever you like best. If you want more upper chest activation and less mid and lower chest, it's going to be 45 degrees. If you want to include a bit more of the mid and lower chest, then it's going to be 15 degrees, it's going to be fine. I'll never do flat pressing, I'm going to be honest. Since I've seen the results that I can get with only doing incline pressing, I'll never go back to flat pressing again, ever. And decline pressing, never in my life have I done that because I'm not an idiot. Now, the incline angle only makes a difference if your form for the incline press is actually good. And what I mean by that is that if you're overextending too much, you've got your chest too puffed out, you've got your back really arched, then you're reducing the incline angle by yourself. So take it, for example, if you've got a 15-degree incline press, right? Your back, your spine should be like this on the bench. If you're arching too much, you're making it a flat press yourself, right? The bench is not just there to sit on. You should be connecting your whole upper body to that bench firmly and being as flat as possible. You should be using it as counterforce to push the weight. When you're at the bottom of the rep, you're just pushing your whole back into that bench as you're lifting the weight, rather than, overextending your chest and arching your back and creating less of an incline. That's not going to be good for your upper chest and can also lead to some other issues. Your grip width on the bar should be shoulder width, not closer, because that's going to put more of the load onto the triceps, not further away, because that's going to put more of the load onto the front delts. The grip width is quite important for the upper chest. As you're pressing, if you have a shoulder width grip, your elbows are going to be close to your body, which allows good leverage for the upper chest to work. Now, in terms of an effective alternative to the Smith machine bench press, the only other machine that I actually like for the upper chest, and I don't have this in my regular gym, that's why I can't do it that often, otherwise I would. When I've been traveling or popped into a different gym, there's a great machine called an incline converging chest press. So this is a machine, the seat is already set on an incline for you, and as you're pressing the weight, the handles are getting closer together. So there's this adduction component to it, right? As you're pressing, the handles are obviously going up and then your elbows are getting closer to the midline of the body. That's what converging is. Now, this movement is absolutely amazing for your upper chest because it's got that adduction component, the converging chest press, right? So your upper chest has good leverage in this movement. So if you have access to that machine, 100% go for it, and you're going to see very good results from that as well. So what you should do is choose one of these exercises, put it into your workout. If you want to prioritize your upper chest, you need to put it first in your workout and do 2 sets till failure. Just 2 sets. Just because you want to prioritize your upper chest doesn't mean you have to spam it with loads of volume. That's going to be less effective and not allow you to recover as well. 2 sets until failure in a 4 to 8 rep range. That's going to be very effective for building your strength, therefore progressively overloading, therefore building the most muscle mass. Training like this will allow you to perform your sets with real intensity to failure, or at least close to failure, right? But without doing too much, so that you can't recover from it in the long run, which will diminish the amount of muscle growth that you'll see. Prioritizing a muscle doesn't mean that you do more volume or more reps. That's going to have the opposite effect. Your muscle is going to be under recovered, which is obviously going to lead to worse performance in subsequent workouts. Prioritizing a muscle is very simple. You just put it first in your workout, because when you're fresh, your brain has a neural capability to generate more mechanical tension for that muscle, leading to a better growth stimulus. Whereas the muscles that you work with hard sets as well, Further down in the workout, don't get as much of the growth stimulus. They'll still grow, just not as effectively as the ones that you put first. A few common mistakes that a lot of guys make when training their chest. First of all, like I've mentioned, focusing on flat movements too much, flat and decline movements especially. These are movements that are going to prioritize your mid and lower chest, which is not going to lead to that shelf, that plate of armor look that we're looking for. And then even when you're doing the correct movements, if your form is bad, maybe you're using too much weight, maybe you're using legs to drive, maybe you're overarching your back, then that's also going to keep you from developing that upper chest effectively. If you're doing something like a bro split, training your chest once a week with loads of volume, like 10, 15, 20 sets, I don't know, then that's also going to be a terrible idea, because to grow muscle optimally, you need to be training the muscle frequently. And to train it frequently, it also needs to be recovered. So if you've realized that you should be prioritizing your upper chest, or maybe you just need to be training it more optimally than you've currently been doing, that's fine. Just implement the steps I've given you in the video and you should start to see progress quite quickly, to be honest. You should also be tracking your workouts, writing it on paper if you want, or just download a workout tracking app. That's going to allow you to see your progressive overload, so you can see, okay, you've made a change, now you're seeing good results from it, so it's good to continue. If you want to develop not just your upper chest, but a very attractive physique in general, then check out my community. That's top link in the description. That's where I help guys build a sexy physique so you can walk around knowing that you look sick.